All right, what up? So we got a Reddit post that I wanted to go over, and I want to know what would you advise this person if they were a friend asking for some help? What would you tell them? What would you say? What can really benefit them? Maybe you were in the same position. Let me know. But I'm gonna go ahead and show the comment on Reddit that I found fascinating, and I'll just read it. So. Obviously, I'm gonna cut out the person's information for obvious reasons, even though it's all public. Still, it's like you don't need to know who wrote it. But it says, "What do you do when you go over budget 1 month?" So this is the first month I've gone over budget on my fun money miscellaneous buckets. I budget a certain amount for fun, but if something unexpectedly unfun comes up, I usually reduce the rest of the fun bucket accordingly so I can still save the same amount as I had originally planned. I had an annual subscription that I forgot about come up this month, which put me over budget by $100. Because I'm already living very frugally, there isn't much wiggle room to reduce spend for the rest of the month. Just curious, what do you do when this happens? Do you reduce your fun budget for the next month to make up for it? Or do you consider it to be a whoopsie? I'll remember to budget for this next year and just move, or maybe they mean next month, and just move on with your life. My goal is to aggressively save my 9-month emergency fund and live very frugally while I'm working on it. So being $100 over budget really makes me sad. LOL. All right. So the first thing I will do is just commend this person on trying to do something, like use some discipline and get to a certain position or accomplish a certain goal within a defined time frame. So a lot of people don't do that. So you got to commend people for trying to put in the work, the hard stuff. So what would you tell this person? I mean, you could pause and just write it in the comments, because I'll say, I'm about to say what I will tell them. But what would you tell this person if they were your friend or family member and they came to you, they was like, hey, such and such, damn, I just messed up my budget. I don't know what to do. It's not that serious, but at the same time, I'm really disappointed in myself. This is the situation. What should I do? What would you tell them? So if I had someone, let's just say it was one of my clients, and this is what they gave me. And I already work with them. So this is what they gave me. The first thing okay. I don't tell people what to do. I just help them talk through the goal that they want, like what it is that they want out of life, the purpose, what are they trying to do. And maybe some things that they missed, they're not thinking about, but that's the stance I like to take. I don't like to be this person that says you need to do this. Nope. It all depends on what your goal is, because for the most part, I don't believe anyone is crazy. You have your own specific purpose for doing certain things. I might not understand it until you tell me, add some context, and then I can maybe fill in some gaps that you're not considering. So if someone came to me with this, the first thing that always comes up is when it comes to mapping out your money and trying to make sure everything works together. I'm very adamant about having that bucket of fun that you can spend and not have a problem with. If you go over it, that means you need to do an adjustment. Now, if that's eating up into some, what's the word? If it's eating up into bills that like real serious obligations that you have to take care of, then hey, you gotta do some adjustments. If you can't really, then that's where you gotta increase your earning potential. You gotta bring in more money. So in this situation, if they're going over their budget by $100, something came up, there needs to be some, maybe an extra fund, or you need to increase your earning potential, because it really shouldn't happen. So they said the annual subscription, they forgot. So the fact that they forgot, let me see if I can highlight with this. It lets me know that, so I'll say, okay, I guess it works if they weren't a client, but let's just say if it was just a regular person, I'll say, okay, you need to really look at all your expenses. You need to do an audit because you shouldn't be in a position to forget anything. Everything should be laid out, and you should see exactly, especially when it's recurring payments, you should see exactly where your money is going to. Like, what are you're paying out? So, a good audit. This is one of the things with an audit. A lot of people forget the subscriptions that they have, and they don't think about it, or they try to keep it in their mind. Like this, it's good to understand where your what transactions are you having every month. How does it look like? And then that's just all part of that helps with the cash flow. So they forgot about that. So that's the one big problem that I see. And then the $100. So it's just like, okay, it's a small, but at the same time, small could turn into big real quick. You need to make some adjustments and understand what type of lifestyle that you're trying to have. Why isn't your fund source big enough to cover anything like this? So you need to, $100 is a weekend doing, it's not even a whole weekend, like 6 hours or just like half a day of doing like Uber or DoorDash. I know more about DoorDash. You can make the $100. So this is where it's like, increase your earning potential. Living very, very frugally. I don't like the word frugal. I don't necessarily agree with just living frugal, because after some time you get tired of it and you start to break down and you start to just like, I just need to have a little bit more fun or whatever, and that's when you start breaking your habits. I just believe live comfortably as far as what you like, bare necessities, and enough where it gives you that cushion of, hey, I'm still enjoying life. Because I'm not a fan of eating ramen noodles when you don't have to, because you don't know when you're gonna leave this planet. Enjoy your life as much as you can, but within reason, and be wise about it. So I don't know exactly what living frugally entails for this person, but hey, there's not much wiggle room. This is where I'm like, you need to increase your earning potential. You shouldn't be, so I'm assuming this person lives in America. You're living in the richest country in the world. You should be living comfortably. But I don't know. Like, I'm just making assumptions. I don't know this person. I didn't inquire more about frugally or whatever. But in a general sense, enjoy your life within reason. As far as how does that align with your goals for the future? So everyone is going to be different. No one person can tell you need to do this, you need to cut this out, you need to cut off coffee and all this other stuff. It's like, it depends on the person. You can't just say what it is that the person should be doing. So the no more wiggle room just says you need to make more money. And should you reduce the spend for next month? No, because it's gonna be a recurring thing. You need to make an adjustment here and put more money. Okay, so just curious, what do you do when this happens? Do you reduce your fund budget for the next month to make up for it? No, you don't reduce this part, because the fund is what's going to help you stay away from burnout, because we're not machines. A lot of people go hard, and then next thing you know, they just burn out, just get fed up with it, and they're just like, oh, I'm just gonna go crazy, and then just blow out everything. So keep the fund budget. I'll say keep the fund budget. Don't reduce that. Just increase your earning potential, and you could do that with like 7 hours. Okay, so 3 hours on Saturday, 3 hours on Sunday, whatever your off days are. Do some side hustle. You can make that $100 even more. Increase your earning potential. And that's just one weekend out of the month. Or do you consider it to be a whoopsie? No, there's no whoopsies. There's a point. Why did you forget? Like I said before, and how come you don't have enough money to cover it in whatever buckets that you need? So you need to figure it out. You don't just, this is part of the snare. Whoopsie, you're like, oh, okay. No, you got to figure this out. The snare will start to trap you. You're going to have more of these. I remember to budget this for I really think he means next month. I'll remember to budget this for next month and move on with your life. No, you can't be passive when things like this happen. when your money that was supposed to be allocated for bills doesn't match what you had originally planned. You can't be passive. You got to attack it immediately, because then it's not just to obviously take care of the bill, but it's also to build up the habit of, no, you need to be accurate with your finances. You need to build that skill. You need to build that habit. Over time, it's just like second nature. Then it's just like, hey, like you're good. Like this is all building skills on top of skills, so that when you start coming across really big money or whatever your goal, if most people, they want more money as they get older, then because you build up these habits, you're not going to lose the money, or you're not going to have these leaks start to form, and you're just in a situation where it's like, oh, where did all my money go? You got to address this and figure out why you didn't get it. How come you didn't have that bill recorded? My goal is to aggressively save my 9-month emergency fund. Okay, that's good. Excellent. And live very frugally while I'm working on it. Why not just increase your earning potential? I don't know. I mean, maybe realistically, I don't see this person working 60 hours a week. I just don't. Most people don't work that much. If you're not working 60 hours, then just increase your earning potential. You can get the 9-month emergency fund quicker. And then let's just say you just want to live frugally until then, bust your ass more. I don't know. I mean, once again, I'm just making assumptions, but just do more. You can always work more hours. You can always do something online. You can sell stuff, like have some type of side hustle, because when you're saying frugally, it just means that you don't have enough money coming in to the point where you try to offset it by really not trying to treat yourself or trying to take care of yourself. Like, you still gotta take care of yourself so you don't burn out. So being $100 over budget really makes me sad. Okay. Yeah, money is an emotional thing for most people. Maybe they're just writing this. I don't know if they're really being serious. But you know how people, you know how you just write stuff and you're just like, you know, you're trying to get some input from people, maybe a little bit of sympathy, make people want to really write. That's kind of how I take it. But if you're finding yourself being overly emotional over money, I think that's just like a psychological issue that you need to maybe talk with someone, counselor or whatever, or somebody, and figure that out, because you don't want to be overly emotional with your money. Like, naturally, we're humans, we're emotional people, but if something goes wrong, you don't want it to let you affect you too much. Because I remember the first time I heard about the stock market crashing in 1929, and there was people jumping out of buildings because they lost all their money. And I'm just like, I don't know. I can't fathom how someone can jump out of, like, look down or like open the window, feel the wind rushing them, and they just let go and they just fall. I remember there was a picture of someone, it was a still shot of someone jumping out the building. These are like skyscrapers in New York. And I'm just like, wow. Don't be in that position. Don't be that person where you feel like you need to jump out of the building because you lost all your money. That's just, no. That means money is controlling you. You're supposed to be controlling money. So that's the only comment that I wanted to bring up. Maybe I might have multiple comments. Maybe I might even do 3. Let me know if you want to see more comments in the video. I'm just trying to keep it on 1. But what would you advise this person? Would you tell them, hey, you know, you gotta, like what he said, like, okay, next month, then you gotta bring it down or whatever? Or would you tell them something different? Would you tell them that a side hustle? Do you know a side hustle business that's easy to start, make some good money? It might be simple to start, but not easy. But whatever it is, what would you tell them to do in this chat? And you already know what I would tell them. So do you agree, disagree? Maybe you got a different perspective. I'd love to hear it. But anyways, I hope you appreciate this video. I hope it helped you learn something. And if you do appreciate it and like this video, share with someone that you think could use it and can really benefit them to take action. and subscribe if you haven't already done so. And look forward to seeing you in the next one.